presents the Atlanta Braves, America's team. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood Age for that distinctive taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. This Bud's for you. By the official airline of the Atlanta Braves, Delta. We love to fly, and it shows. And by Eckerd Drugs, America's family drugstore.
All right, everybody. I'd like to welcome you to another ball game in the 1987 Atlanta Braves season replay. And this is game number 68. We've moved to the West Coast. The Los Angeles Dodgers are the opponent. And we have got everything set up on the board except the pregame checks, which I wanted to do on camera. So the Dodgers are coming off a 3-game losing streak in Houston, while the Braves won their last game of the homestand against the Cincinnati Reds, so they have a 1-game winning streak going for them. On the mound for the Dodgers, Fernando Valenzuela, and for the Braves, it'll be Charlie Palaio. So we'll go to the pregame charts, or pregame checks, to see what condition each of these teams are going to be in. The Braves have a 1-game winning streak, so we go over here to our game day chart. We're going to roll one die, and if it's a 1 or less, they will automatically be harmonious and be on the sunny side of the chart. If it's not, then we roll the decider die to see what their condition is. So the roll for the Braves to see if they can beat that winning streak, and it is a 1, so they are going to be harmonious, and they will be off the sunny side of the chart. So we'll roll on the game day check and see what kind of perk they might get. It's a 4, and the 4 is going to be the front office. So let's see what kind of front office things we have going on. It's a 1, and a 1 is a minor perk with a player. Let's see what player we're talking about. It's a 5, so the minor player, or the player is a pitcher. Now we need to figure out which pitcher. It's a 2. So the 2 is last game's starter. Last game's starter was Rick Mailer. So let's see what kind of perk Rick Mailer might get. It is a minor perk. It's a 3. So the minor perk is he's happy this game, but that's really irrelevant because he's not going to pitch. So that's kind of took that out of the equation. But they are harmonious. That's the important part to gather out of that. Now we'll look at the Dodgers. They are riding a 3-game losing streak. And a 3-game losing streak, their roll there is a 5, so it's not less. So we will go to the clubhouse mood finder to see if they're ready to break the losing streak. They are. So they're going to be semi-harmonious. And they'll roll off the sunny chart. Rolls a 6, so that's a possible injury. Possible injury. But since I'm playing as played, I'm not going to go through the injuries because that would take away the as played lineup aspect of it. So under normal conditions, I would have checked for injury. But in this case, we will not do that just because of the fact that I'm trying to keep this as played as much as possible. And I'm going to try to remove this glare off the board if I can. All right, I'm doing this holding the camera by hand this time instead of having it stationary. So if it jiggles a little bit, that's what's going on, but I'm trying to get a closer look at all the players and the game book and everything else so that you all can see that. All right, so the pregame checks are out of the way. Braves are harmonious, Dodgers semi-harmonious. Looking at the previous game's results, Rafael Ramirez will be the cold player for the Braves, and Murphy is the hot player for the Braves. For the Dodgers, Steve Sachs is hot, and Franklin Stubbs is cold. Braves enter the game 30-37 as we enter the game 1 of this West Coast road trip. Game number 68 was played on June 23rd, 1987. And let's meet the starting lineups. First for the visiting Braves. Leading off and playing center field will be Dion James. Batting second at third base with a left-hander on the mound, Rafael Ramirez. Hitting third in left field is Ken Griffey. Batting cleanup is the right fielder Dale Murphy. Hitting fifth, first baseman Ted Simmons, again because of the lefty. Andres Thomas is the shortstop. He will hit sixth. Bruce Benedict, the catcher, will hit seventh. Glenn Hubbard at second will hit eighth. And then, of course, Charlie Palaio, the pitcher, will bat ninth. For the homestanding Dodgers, Dave Anderson will lead things off at shortstop. Steve Sachs is at second, hitting second. John Shelby is hitting third and playing center field. Pedro Guerrero is the left fielder. He will bat cleanup. Mike Marshall is the right fielder, hitting fifth. Franklin Ticket Stubbs is at first base. He will hit sixth. Mike Scioscia, current Angel manager, will hit seventh. Mickey Hatcher will hit eighth and play third base. And batting ninth is Fernando Valenzuela. Look at the umpires, and they are stationed as they were for the actual game. Behind the plate will be Dick Stello. At first base is Doug Harvey. Second base is Eric Gregg. And at third base is Jerry Davis. So we're ready to go after all these prelims are out of the way. We will get going. Dion James stepping into the box against Fernando. And I've got the playbook right here all ready to go. All right, it is Fernando, Dion, and Fernando. First roll of the game's a 1-4-5. Come over to the book. 1-4-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Batter is blank. It's a ground ball to either first or third, and what I usually default to is James is a lefty, so I'm saying he grounds to first. Not that it really matters all that much. So it's a ground out to Franklin Stubbs for out number one. Here's shortstop Rafael Ramirez. He is the cold player in this game. 1-1-6, and I'm hoping I'm not shaking this too much. My hand is not that steady when I'm shaking dice. 1-1-6. 1-1-6 asks, is he fresh? Well, it's the second batter of the game, so he's obviously fresh. So Fernando just chalked up a strikeout on Rafael Ramirez. Down he goes. 2 down, base is empty. Ken Griffey. Griffey, a 5-6-6. 5-6-6 asks, is the pitcher wild? No, Fernando, his only quality is he has flash. That's the only thing he's got going for him is flash. So the 5-6-6 says he's not wild. Does Griffey have a good eye? No, Griffey on his card is a semi-hero and a slugger, and that's it. So he's not have a good eye, so therefore he will strike out. And that's going to end the inning. And if you notice there, that was in blue. So on the very next batter, in the bottom of the first rather, we will have a right now check, which is kind of interesting since neither one has performed yet. Dave Anderson is not batted yet. Charlie Palaio is not pitched, so they're both going to be by default neutral. And we will have a neutral right now at bat. It's 2-4. So 2-4 says hot batter. No, he's not hot. If he was, he would connect on an outside pitch for a bloop single. Otherwise, he's going to fly to Griffey in left. So Anderson with a fly out to Ken Griffey in left field, and that's how the Dodgers get going in the bottom of the first. Brings up Steve Sachs, the designated hot batter. And Sachs has a 1-4-6. 1-4-6 asks, does the pitcher have flash? Charlie Palaio, one of his qualities is flash. So he does have the flash quality, 1-4-6 flash. That is a strikeout unless Steve Sachs has a good eye. That's what that eyeball says. But if we look at Steve Sachs, he's actually semi-eager. So no good eye there. The strikeout is going to stand. And Sachs is out of there for out number 2. That'll bring up T-Bone John Shelby as the Dodgers try to get something going in the bottom of the first. Shelby, a 3-3-6. 3-3-6 asks, is he an ace? No, Palaio's not an ace. He's a semi-workman. Is the batter sad sack, utility, or patient? Shelby is none of those. So Shelby is actually going to get a single to center field, and it's in red. So the next result will go off the experience chart. So Shelby with a single. So he's aboard, and now we have an icon against a semi-icon because Palaio's semi-icon, Pedro Guerrero, is an icon. So no manager card used here. Chuck Tanner's going to hope he gets the decider die in his favor. But he does not. It's a 4-5. 4-5 says prospect batter. Nope, Guerrero's an icon. If he was a prospect, he'd be fooled by the pitch and strike out. Otherwise, hard to hard to field infield grounder batter out at first. So an active batter would be safe, but Guerrero's not active. So we're just going to say he grounds to third, and that will end the bottom of the first. So after one complete, we are scoreless here at Dodger Stadium. And Dodger Stadium plays big, whether you're a righty or a lefty. So could be ballpark checks, could be hard to get home runs today. Although bigger ballparks will allow sinking liners to drop in the gaps. So there's benefits both ways. All right, Fernando starting the top of the second against Dale Murphy. The Murph, it's a 2-4-6. Murphy at 2-4-6 has asked, does Fernando have control? No, the only thing he's got is flash, so he does not have control. Is Murphy eager or sad sack? He is neither one, so he will walk. And he says an active steals, but he's not active, so it's simply a walk for Murphy. So he starts out the second with a leadoff walk, brings up Ted Simmons, and Ted Simmons, that drop a die there. Ted Simmons is one of these unusual players that has no qualities on his card as far as he's not a slugger, he's not a sad sack, he's not anything. But that usually ends up being better for the batter because he skips all those checks. So here's Simmons, 3-5-6. Now that's the left-right check because it says same. Ted Simmons is a switch hitter, so obviously he's not the same. He's going to bat right-handed against Valenzuela, so we skip that. He's not utility or sad sack because I just told you his card is blank. So he's going to single down the third base line, and on a lead die of 3, runners advance 2 bases on any hit. So that means that Murphy will move it over to third base. So the Braves have runners at the corners with nobody out. And they've got Fernando on the ropes here in the second. Brings up shortstop Andres Thomas. 3-4-6. 3-4-6 is blank for the pitcher. Is Thomas eager? Unfortunately for Andres Thomas, he does have the eager quality. So being that he's eager, he's going to fly to center. However, with a runner at third and the fly to center on a lead die of 3 is a sacrifice fly unless the runner on third is stoic. Murphy, I don't believe, is stoic. I believe he's neutral. So I'll double check that. Let's see. Murphy is neutral. Yes, he is. So the sacrifice fly will stand. Andres Thomas flies out to center field. So it flies to Shelby, but Murphy will score, and the Braves take a 1-0 lead on the sacrifice fly by Andres Thomas. That leaves Simmons at first with 1 out for Bruce Benedict. Bruce Benedict, 2-2-5 with decider die. 2-2-5. Is he a star? No. Slugger or sad sack? Unfortunately for Benedict, he's a sad sack. So he's going to pop it out to right field, and that'll be out number 2, as Bruce Benedict does have the sad sack quality. So that'll bring up Glenn Hubbard with a runner still at first and 2 outs. Braves lead 1-0, top of the second. 5-6-6. 5-6-6. Is he wild? No. Does Hubbard have a good eye? No, he doesn't. So he will strike out, and that will end the inning. But the Braves push across a run on the sacrifice fly by Andres Thomas. And at the end of 1.5, it is the Braves 1, Dodgers 0. Leading off will be Mike Marshall against Palaio as the Dodgers try to rally. We get a 3-3-5, and a 3-3-5 asks, is the pitcher wild? No, Palaio's got semi-control. Is the batter a sad sack? No, Marshall definitely is not a sad sack. So he's going to single to right field and steal second unless he's stoic. Marshall is stoic, so he will not steal, but he will single. And the Dodgers trying to respond to that run by the Braves. Get a leadoff single for Franklin Stubbs. 1-6-6. It asks, is the pitcher a workman? And Palaio is a semi-workman, but the decider die is a blank. So he's not going to be a workman. It asks again now, is the batter a whiffer? Franklin Stubbs is a semi-whiffer, so we're going to have to roll the decider die again to see if that invokes the whiffer quality. It does not, so he's not a whiffer. So since he's not a workman and not a whiffer, he's going to ground it to third. And on a lead die of 1, that's a double play. So that is a 5-4-3 double play. Probably wishes he was a whiffer. So that's 2 outs, and that result was in red, so we go to the chemistry chart for the next at bat. Soch is an icon, and Pelayo is a semi-icon. And now Pelayo is neutral, with Socha being an icon. 5-6. Icon pitcher. If he was, he would fool him with off-speed pitch for a high pop-up. Otherwise, batter thrown out at first, runners advance. So that's still going to be, we'll call it a 6-3 ground out. To end the second inning, and nothing doing for the Dodgers here in the bottom of the second. We go to the third. It's still the Braves 1 and the Dodgers nothing. And we're back to, actually we're at Pelayo's at bat. The pitcher leads off, Charlie Pelayo. He's got the standard pitcher qualities of not being not a very good hitter, although he does have the slugger quality. So he has a little bit of pop in his bat. See if that comes into play. It's 2-4-5. 2-4-5 is blank for the pitcher. Is he a hero? No, he's not a hero. So he will pop it up to second, and again, that's in red. So we will be going to the experience chart for the next at bat. And that next at bat belongs to Dion James. He is a neutral player, and Fernando Valenzuela is an icon. So Chuck Tanner is going to use his first manager card. It's a coaching tip. So that's going to make Dion James an icon this at bat. So first manager card used. It is by Chuck Tanner, and now both are icons. So icon against icon, and it's a 4-5. 4-5 says prospect batter. Well, he wasn't a prospect. He was neutral, so he really didn't, as it turns out, need to use the card, but you didn't know that going in. He's not a prospect batter, so he doesn't strike out. He hits a hard field grounder, batter out at first. Active, runner safe, but Dion is not active. So he will ground out. We'll say he grounds to second. So Sachs throws him out. So that's the first manager card. It ended up not being useful, but you never know that until you use them. And Dion James is out. Here's Rafael Ramirez, 2 outs, bases empty. And it's 1-2-4. 1-2-4, does the pitcher have control? No. Is he eager? Rafael Ramirez is eager. So since he's eager, he's going to pop it up to first. And that's going to end the top of the third. Nothing doing for the Braves. They go down quietly, 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the third, and Mickey Hatcher will lead things off, followed by Fernando, and then the top of the order, Anderson, against Charlie Pelayo. And that's a 3-5-5. 3-5-5. Is he a struggler? No. Is batter a champion? No, he's not. It's a ground out to second, unless he's a whiffer, which he is not a whiffer. So it is a ground out to second base. One away. And let's see here. How do I do this? I don't see the thing here that talks about bringing up comments. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Sorry, folks. I had the comments turned off. I forgot about it, so I'm not ignoring anyone. I just happened to finally get on here. It's, howdy, Mark Russell, Tabletop, Tenacious. Anybody else I might have missed? Apologize. I did not have the comments turned on like I should have. Bad me. So anyway, now we got you. All right. So Fernando is going to lead things off. And Fernando, it's a 2-4-6. And Fernando has pretty much what you'd expect from a pitcher hitting quality. So it's a 2-4-6. Control pitcher, Pelayo has semi-control. The decider die says he has control. So he will ground it right back to Pelayo. So Fernando is an easy second out. And now we're back to the top of the order, and Dave Anderson. I'm trying not to shake this phone too much, but I am trying to get close-ups of all the results as well, and I can't do that with a stationary camera. So I'm experimenting. 116 asks, is he fresh? Well, we're in the third inning, so we're still fresh, and therefore it is a strikeout. So Anderson down on strikes. Completed 3 with the score still Atlanta 1 and the Dodgers nothing. We go to the top of the fourth. Now semi-freshness takes effect for both Fernando and Pelayo. And Ken Griffey leads things off. Griffey a 4.66. Is he wild? No, Fernando's not wild. Is he a home run king or a slugger? Ken Griffey, unfortunately for him in this at-bat, is a slugger, so therefore he will strike out. So Ken Griffey, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts in the game. Brings up the Murph. He walked and scored his first time up. 1-2-2. 1-2-2. Is the pitcher a workman? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion or a whiffer? Dale Murphy is not a champion. He is a semi-whiffer. However, the side die says no, so he will not nub a single. Instead, he will line out to the third baseman, Hatcher. And that's out number 2. That'll bring up Ted Simmons, first baseman. 1-4-4. 1-4-4 flash. Fernando has the flash quality. However, there are the goggles there, which means we have to go to the umpire check. Because of those goggles, the umpire could overrule this. So we go over here to 1-4-4. Questionable or lenient umpire calls ball 4. Other umpires call strike 3. Well, the home plate umpire in this case is Dick Stello. He is semi-questionable. The decider die says he's questionable, so that strikeout has just been overruled and it is now a walk for Ted Simmons. So he draws a 2-out walk. So that's where the questionable umpires at home, lenient or questionable umpires at home can cost you strikeouts. All right, here's Andres Thomas. 1-5-6 for Thomas. 1-5-6 blank for the pitcher. Is he a whiffer? He is a semi-whiffer, is Mr. Thomas. Semi-whiffer. But again, decider die is blank. And we go to outfield drama. So outfield drama, we're going to check the Dodger outfield. Dodgers in the outfield, everyone's neutral. So we don't even need the decider die on this. So 2-6. 2-6 is center fielder Stoic. Center fielder in this game is John Shelby. He is neutral runner, so he's not Stoic. If he was Stoic, he would not be able to catch that ball that drops in. Otherwise, he makes the grab for the out. So John Shelby, the fact that he's not Stoic, was able to track down that looping liner. And Thomas and the Braves are out in the 4th with no damage done to the Dodgers. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. It is still 1-0 in favor of the Braves. And we'll flip back to our normal charts here. And Steve Sachs will lead things off. Struck out his first time up. So 2-6-6. 2-6-6. Runner on first thrown out. There is nobody on first to throw out, so don't worry about that. Leadoff batter, yes he is. He's leading off the inning, so that's a single for Steve Sachs. So that's the one, another perk as the leadoff batter. It's not the leadoff batter of the game, it's the leadoff batter of any particular inning that qualifies for that. So he will hit a leadoff single, and since he's an active runner, well, he's semi-active, let's see if he's going to see if he can get a chance to steal. So he's going to, Tommy Lasorda is going to use one of his manager cards for stolen base attempts. And the first thing you have to do is roll the decider die to see if he gets a jump. So the first thing to check is, does he get the jump? He does not, so that's a wasted strategy card if you want to look at it that way. Steve Sachs didn't get the jump, so he can't go. So we'll go ahead and continue with John T-Bone Shelby. It's 2-3-5 for Shelby. 2-3-5 is the pitcher Wild. No, he's got semi-control. Is he eager? Is Shelby eager? Shelby is semi-eager. The sire die says he's eager. So therefore, he's going to single through the shortstop. However, if he's a whiffer, he would strike out. Shelby's a semi-whiffer, so we got to roll the decider die again to see if he's a whiffer or not, or whether that single is going to stand. It is a dot, so he does strike out. So went from penthouse to the poorhouse on that one with a strikeout, as he was a whiffer. So there's one out with Sachs still at first base, and Pedro Guerrero the batter. Pedro, 1-6-6. Is the pitcher a workman? Paleo is a semi-workman. The decider die says he's a workman, so it is a single to left field for Pedro Guerrero. Lead die of 1 means Sachs only gets one one base, so he goes to second. Runners at first and second for Mike Marshall. And we get a 5-6-6. 5-6-6, is he wild? No, semi-control. Does Marshall have a good eye? No, he's eager, so he will strike out. So Mike Marshall strikes out, and that resulted in blue. So we will go to the right now chart. And since Palaio just struck him out, he is going to be semi-hot because we're only in the 4th inning. We have to get to the 6th inning to make him hot. Right now he's semi-hot. And Stubbs grounded into a double play, so he is neutral. So we got a semi-hot pitcher against a neutral batter. But Tommy Lasorda is going to use a manager card. He's going to use a one-on-one pep talk. So Tommy Lasorda is going to use a one-on-one pep talk and turn his neutral player into a hot player. So Franklin Stubbs will be hot for this at bat. So we have a hot player against a semi-hot pitcher. All right, so neutral pitcher and a hot batter. 2-4. Hot batter, he certainly is. Reaches for outside pitch and connects on a bloop single out over the shortstop. So had he not used that manager card, he would have made an out. Lead die of 2. Active runner, let's see, runners advance 1 base on singles. Active runner scores from second on any hit. So Steve Sachs, who was active, well, no, he's semi-active, so I have to roll the side or die, my bad. And he is active because of that. So Sachs will score to tie the ball game. Guerrero will stop at second. So the RBI single by Franklin Stubbs, and that was a shrewd manager card used by Tommy Lasorda. Make his batter hot, got him a hit, got him a run. We're tied at 1, and that brings up Scioscia with 2 on and 2 outs. Mike Scioscia, the batter, grounded to short his first time up, 4-5-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is he patient? He has a good eye, but he's not patient, so therefore he will fly out to center field, and that's going to end the bottom of the 4th. But the Dodgers tie the game on the RBI single by Franklin Stubbs. And after 4 complete, it is Atlanta 1 and the Dodgers 1. That last out was in purple, so that means we're heading over to the chemistry chart. Now the pregame checks says Atlanta is harmonious and the Dodgers are semi-harmonious. And it's Bruce Benedict who gets the at-bat. Both teams are harmonious. 1-2, 1-2, batting team dissonance. No, they're not dissonance. If they were, it would be a strikeout. Otherwise, it's a fence check. So we go to the microchart fence check. Bruce Benedict, however, is a semi-scrapper. So we'll roll the decider die along with the dot to see what he is. He is going to be a scrapper, and it's a 5. He's still going to get a double. So Bruce Benedict leads off the top of the 5th with a double as the Braves try to answer that run by the Dodgers with that fence check. And that brings up Glenn Hubbard. 3-3-6 for Glenn Hubbard. 3-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? No. Is the batter sad sack, utility, or patient? Glenn Hubbard is semi-patient. Decider die says he's patient, so therefore he was too patient. He took a called strike 3. So Hubbard, bat on shoulder, strikeout, walks back, grabs some bench, he gone. And that'll bring up Charlie Palaio, the pitcher. Palaio 5.66. Is he wild? No. Does he have a good eye? No, he does not. So he's going to strike out. So Palaio didn't bunt him because he was a slugger. So I thought I'd get him a chance for an extra base hit. Didn't work out. He struck out. Results in blue. We go to the right now chart, and that's a semi-hot Fernando against a neutral Deion James. But Chuck Tanner, not to be outdone by Tommy Lasorda, is also going to do a one-on-one pep talk with Deion James, and he's going to turn the neutral Deion James into a hot batter, hoping to catch lightning in a bottle again. That's his second manager card used, so he will be hot, and Fernando will be semi-hot. And they're both hot. 1-5. Cold batter. No, he's not cold. He's hot. If he was cold, he would watch a third strike. Otherwise, batter pounces on pitch for a single through the shortstop. So it's a single for Deion James. Now let's check runner advancement. The lead die of 1. Any runner scores from second on a hit. So Bruce Benedict, even the slow-running Benedict with that 2 outs advantage and a lead die of 1, will come in to score, and the Braves recapture the lead by the score of 2-1. So again, the shrewd use of the manager card by Chuck Tanner made Deion James hot, and he came through and did not disappoint. It's Rafael Ramirez. Ramirez, a 1-3-6. Is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is the batter whiffer or cold? Ramirez is the designated cold batter, so he will strike out. He was designated by from the previous game as a cold batter, so he will strike out. The 5th inning is over, top of the 5th, but the Braves do score the run to take a 2-1 lead. And now it's up to the Dodgers to respond. Mickey Hatcher, the batter. Hatcher, 1-2-5. Is pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Is the batter patient? Hatcher has a semi-good eye, but he's semi-eager, so he's not patient. So he's going to ground out to third unless he's a whiffer. He is not a whiffer, so it's a ground out by Hatcher. Over to Ramirez at third for 1 away, and now we've got Fernando Valenzuela stepping to the box. 2-4-6 for Fernando. 2-4-6. Does the pitcher have control? He's got semi-control, but the decider die says no. Is he eager or a sad sack? Fernando, according to his qualities, is both eager and a sad sack. So therefore, he will pop it up to the third baseman. So he's going to pop it up to Ramirez. 2 down. Back to the top of the order for Dave Anderson. 1-3-3. 1-3-3 is blank for the pitcher. Is he a slugger? Anderson is a scrapper, not a slugger. So therefore, he's going to fly out to left. And that's going to do it for the Dodgers here in the 5th with nothing going for them. We've played 5 complete here at Dodger Stadium. And it's the Braves 2 and the Dodgers 1. And Ken Griffey will be leading things off for the Braves against Fernando. And this is the last inning of semi-freshness for both pitchers, the 6th inning. After this, they will lose all freshness. So Griffey, 1-1-3 for Griffey. 1-1-3. Is he an ace? No. Is he a slugger? Ken Griffey is a slugger. So Ken Griffey as a slugger will double to left field. I'm not using the, whatever those things are called, the little home run legend thing. I'm just kind of keeping it basic here. So Ken Griffey hits a leadoff double as the Braves try to add to their 2-1 lead here in the 6th. And here's Dale Murphy. Fernando could be in trouble. 1-1-6. Is he fresh? Well, he's semi-fresh. Decider die says he is fresh because we're still in the top of the 6th. So that's a strikeout for Fernando as he tries to keep things right where they are. It'll bring up the veteran Ted Simmons, and Simmons has singled and walked, so he's done pretty well for himself. 2-5-6. 2-5-6. Is he a struggler? No, he's not. Is the batter champion or patient? No, he has no qualities. He's blank. So we got infield drama. So we're checking the Dodger infield. And in the Dodger infield, Sachs is semi-iron. Everybody else is neutral. So Sachs would be iron if he's called upon. 3-3. 3-3 says pitcher iron. Well, Fernando he's neutral on his fielding. So he's not going to be iron. If he was iron, he would flub this for an error. Otherwise, he makes the routine play to first. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. I might incorporate that later. I don't think Griffey qualified for that. Looking at, he actually does have the full slugger quality, so I don't know if that would have meant he would have homered or what that was, but anyway, I haven't been playing with that all season long, so I probably shouldn't start now because that would tinker with the with what I was doing with the results. So it's a ground out to Fernando for out number 2. And with the play to the pitcher, the runner on second had to hold with a lead die of 1. So now here's Thomas, Andres Thomas with a chance with 2 outs. 1-4-4. Flash, yes he is, but again we're going right back to the umpire chart because of those goggles, and we already know Dick Stello is semi-questionable. And since the decider die was not used on the initial roll, we keep it. And that means it's a walk. because it was not used for Fernando's check. So it is going to be a walk. That's the second time Dick Stello has cost Fernando a strikeout. So Tommy Lasorda giving it to Stello over there. Maybe may end up arguing with the umpire before too long. Here's Benedict. It's a 2-2-6, which asks, is he hit by a pitch? And the decider die says no. Is he a cleanup batter? No, Bruce Benedict's not the cleanup batter. He will fly out to left unless he's a whiffer, which he is not. So that's a fly out to left to end the 6th inning. Braves threatened, but could not come across the plate with any runs. So we go to the bottom of the 6th. It is still 2-1 Braves. Batter has to have both home run king and slugger for home run. Okay, thank you. Then you just roll the side dot is a homer, blank is out. Easy peasy. Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate that. In this case, I guess I did play it correctly because Griffey only had the slugger quality, not the home run king quality. So I'm assuming I played that correctly. All right, Steve Sachs, who is the designated hot batter, will lead things off in the bottom of the 6th. This is the last freshness or semi-freshness inning for Pelayo because he has given up a run, so that won't carry over. It's a 2-3-5. 2-3-5. Is he wild? No, he's got semi-control. Is he eager? Steve Sachs is semi-eager. The sire die says he's eager, so he's going to single through the shortstop. So Steve Sachs, taking advantage of the eagerness, will single. And a leadoff single brings up John Shelby as the Dodgers try to rally. It's a 2-3-5. 2-3-5. I think we just had that roll, didn't we? He's not wild. Is Shelby eager? He is semi-eager, but this time decided I let him down. So he won't single. He will ground out to second, and he's not patient. He's not patient so that hourglass won't kick into play. It's a ground out to second, and on a lead dive 2, that's a fielder's choice. So we'll call it a 4-6 fielder's choice. And Sachs is out of there. Shelby's at now the new runner at first. Steve, he may have, probably. Wouldn't surprise me because he's been around a while. Here's Pedro Guerrero. 116 is asking, he is a workman. Pelayo is a semi-workman. Desired Eye says he's a workman, so it is a single to left field. And on lead dive 1, you only get a 1-base advancement. But Guerrero gets his second hit of the game. Runners at first and second with 1 out. And Pelayo may be on fumes here. Chuck Tanner may be going to his bullpen early. Here is Mike Marshall. Marshall. 3-4-5. Iron catcher. No, Bruce Benedict is not iron. Does he have a good eye? No, he's eager. So he will strike out. So it's a strikeout for Marshall. His second strikeout of the day. 2 down, and that result was in blue. So we're going right back to the right now chart. And since we're in the 6th inning, the decider die is no longer needed. Pelayo will be hot, and Stubbs will be hot based on his hit last time. So hot versus hot. And we get a 2-5. 2-5. Hot batter. Yes, he is. Rips pitch into right field for a single. So with a lead die of a 2 and a single, let's see here. Runners advance 1 base on any hit. Stoic runner on first advances to second only. Okay, so it's a 1-base advancement according to this. Let's see here. Active runner scores from second on any hit. The runner, Shelby, is he active? Shelby is not active. He's neutral, so he will not be able to score. Stubbs will single, but that will load the bases. So the bases are now loaded. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs for Mike Scioscia. Pivotal bat of the ball game. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Dodgers trail 2-1, but have a chance to take the lead with Scioscia. 3-5-6. That's the left-right check, and Scioscia's a lefty. Pelayo's a righty, so that will get him by there. But it's not a guaranteed hit. Utility or sad sack would still ground out. Scioscia's not utility, and he's not sad sack. So that's going to be a single down the first base line. Lead die of 3 is a 2-base advancement. So not only will Shelby score, but Guerrero will follow right behind him, and the Dodgers have grabbed a 3-2 lead on that RBI single by Scioscia. So the Dodgers grab a 3-2 lead, and that may end up being all for Pelayo Let's see here. They are going to go ahead and go to the bullpen. So we will go to the bullpen, as that's going to be it for Palaio. Chuck Tanner has seen enough. He is going to go to Jeff Dedman, who also, ironically enough, has no qualities on his pitching side. But he will be an ace on this first at-bat. So Palaio is out of there. Dedman is in. So let's write Dedman in here. And Palaio finishes with 5 2/3, but you can't close the book because 2 runners on base are his responsibility. So runners are at the corners with 2 outs for Mickey Hatcher. But Jeff Dedman is an ace this at bat. It's a 2-3-4. Runners on base, plate drama. Yes, there are runners on base, so we will go to plate drama. And catching wise, Bruce Benedict is neutral as a fielder. So we'll see if that comes into play. Still roll the decider just in case. It's a 2-6. And a 2-6 says catcher iron. No, he's not iron. He is neutral. If he was iron, it'd be a pass ball. Otherwise, right down the pipe, catcher gloves it for a strike. And anytime you get the orange result from the plate drama, you go right to the umpires. And the umpires will have a say-so again. And we're at runners at first and third. That's the base running situation. So we'll re-roll again, 2 dice with the decider to check the umpires and see what they have to say. It is a 1-2 with the decider die. Strict umpire at second. Well, Eric Gregg at second base is not strict. He's respected, so that's going to fail. If he was strict, rules runner out at second base, batter out at first, double play. Other umpires rule batter safe, fielder's choice. So, since it's a third out anyway, it really doesn't matter. If we had less than 2 outs, that would have factored into something. So that's still going to be an out. We'll go ahead and just call it a 6-3. Not that it's that important. And the 6th inning is over. But the Dodgers strike for 2 runs. And after 6 complete, it is now the Dodgers 3 and the Braves 2. And we will have Glenn Hubbard to lead things off. Fernando now is no longer fresh as we start the 7th. He is no longer going to be fresh. He has lost all freshness qualities, so Tommy Lasorda will have to keep an eye on him. He will have to keep an eye on him. Steve, I did have one question for you if you're still around. There's a ballpark or a manager card on here that says visit the mound or walking to the mound. And it says you can add or remove any pitching quality. Could you add freshness to Fernando for an at-bat, say in this inning, or would that be like against the logic of the game? Or is the adding the qualities only about adding an ace or something like that? Could you actually add a freshness quality to him? I'm thinking you can, but I don't want to go against the rules either. So, not that that may not even come up, but I was just curious about that. All right, here's Glenn Hubbard. He will lead things off, and then we have a pinch hitter coming up after that for Dedman. All right, it's a 4-5-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is he patient? Glenn Hubbard is semi-patient. Decider die says he's patient, so he will walk. So Glenn Hubbard with a leadoff walk. And now we're going to get a pinch hitter to come in for Mr. Dedman. All right, thanks, Steve. All right, I thought that was kind of against the spirit of the game to do that, so that's why I didn't really want to do that. All right, so the pinch hitter is going to be Gary Renicky, as they're looking for a right-handed stick against Fernando. So Gary Renicky will pinch hit for the pitcher. Dedman. So, but Fernando's on a short leash. Short leash right here because the bullpen for the Dodgers is active and working. Here's Renicky as the pinch hitter. It's a 3-4-6. Is he the blank for the pitcher? Is he eager? He's actually semi-patient, so he's not eager. He's going to walk. So he's going to draw a walk, and that will put runners at first and second. Now the chart says that it's purple, so we would go to the chemistry chart. However, Tommy Lasorda is going to make the move to the mound, and that's going to override that result. So we will not go to the chemistry chart. We will instead have a bullpen change, and Brian Holton, the righty, is going to come in for the Dodgers, as Fernando went as far as he could, but kind of ran out of gas after 6 innings. So Fernando goes 6+, and he is responsible for the runners on base. He can win it, he can lose it. So, but Renicky with that pinch walk will move out of the way. Let me get him out of the way. Sorry about that. And we're back to top of the order, Deion James. And Holton is an ace this at bat as a reliever. First batter faced. So 1-2-6. Is he fresh? Well, good thing we did switch pitchers because Fernando was not fresh. Holton is, and Holton gets a strikeout. So one of the benefits there of bringing in a bullpen guy is you get the freshness back. And that paid dividends for a strikeout. Big strikeout. Runners don't advance. Here is Rafael Ramirez. It's a 2-4-6. Does the pitcher have control? Brian Holton has semi-control. Unfortunately for him, Decide or Die did let him down, so it's not going to be a ground out. Is he eager or sad sack? Ramirez is eager. So Ramirez, as an eager batter, will pop it up to third base. So the fact that he is eager cost him. Sometimes eager is good, and sometimes eager is not. So it's up to Ken Griffey. He had a big hit last time up, but can he do it again? 5-5-6. 5-5-6. Is he an ace? No. Is he a sad sack? No. It's a double to right field for Ken Griffey, and that will clear the bases as Griffey comes through again. A 2-run double. Both those runs are going to be charged to Fernando, so he actually could lose this. As Griffey, with a base-clearing double, that lead die of 5 clears the bases, and the Braves now grab a 4-3 lead. As Holton allows the inherited runners to score. Here's Murphy. That's a 4-5-6. Blank for the pitcher. Is Murphy patient? He's semi-patient. Decide or Die says no, so he will fly out to center. Well, thanks for dropping in, Steve, and thank you for giving me a couple of rule clarifications on that. I certainly appreciate it. Hope you have a great day, whatever you decide to do today on this wonderful Saturday. Be safe and take care. All right, so Murphy flies to center to end the inning, and normally that would send us to the chemistry chart, but the pitcher is set to lead off the next inning, so there will be a pinch hitter, and that's going to override that. But 7th inning stretch time, and no singing, Steve, if you're still around. I'm not going to sing. Don't have a ukulele or anything like that, so we're just going to keep motoring on. But we do need a new Braves pitcher since we did pinch hit for Dedman. And it's going to be Jim Acker. Jim Acker is going to come in for the Braves. His only quality is he's semi-flash. That's the only thing he's got going for him, but sometimes that's enough. He will be an ace this first at bat, though. And he will be facing facing a pinch hitter for Holton. And the pinch hitter is going to be Kenny Landreau. So Kenny Landreau is the pinch hitter for the Dodgers. He will pinch hit, and then he'll be followed by the top of the order. So Landreau pinch hitting here against Acker. We get a 2-2-6. 2-2-6 says batter hit by pitch. Decide or Die says yes he is. So Acker just plunks the pinch hitter. Landreau. And that's going to be a leadoff batter for the Dodgers. And that's going to be Dave Anderson. He's going to bunt because they want to try to get the runner into scoring position. So if anybody hasn't seen the bunt in this game, there is the bunt manager card. And so that's the third manager card used by Tommy Lasorda. We're going to roll. If it's a 1, he's safe at first. If it's 2, an active runner would be safe. If it's anything other than a 6, basically, it's going to be a good play. So we just want to avoid the 6 if you're the batting team. And they did. A 4 is a basic sacrifice, so we'll just call it 3-4 for out number 1. But it does put the runner into scoring position for Steve Sachs. So Landreau's at second with 1 out. Dodgers down 4-3 here in the bottom of the 7th against Acker. And it's Sachs and Acker 1-2-2. 1-2-2 asks, is he a workman? Acker is not a workman. Is the batter a champion or a whiffer? Sachs is neither. So we skip that result, and he's going to line it to third base. So he lines it to Ramirez at third. for 2 down. And now it's up to John Shelby to bring home the tying run. Shelby, 146. 146 for Shelby. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash. Decide or Die says he has flash. So it is a strikeout unless the batter's a good eye. Shelby, no good eye there, so the strikeout will stand. And Acker gets out of the 7th with little issue. So we've played 7 complete here at Dodger Stadium. It is the Braves clinging to a 4-3 lead. And now we need a new Dodger pitcher since Holton was pinch hit for. So they go to the bullpen. And in the Dodger bullpen, they will turn to, let's see who they're going to go to here. Ken Howell. Ken Howell is in, the righty. So Ken Howell will be the new pitcher for the Dodgers as he tries to keep things right where they are. Be facing Ted Simmons. He is an ace this at bat. And it's a 1-5-6. 1-5-6 is blank for the pitcher. Is he a whiffer? No, Simmons is not a whiffer, so it's outfield drama. And everybody in the outfield for the Dodgers is neutral. So it's neutral city. 2-5. 2-5 center fielder iron. No, he's not iron. If he was, it'd be a double. Otherwise, running grab for the out. So Shelby was able to corral that liner by Simmons. 1 away for Andres Thomas as we go back to the main chart. It'll be Thomas against Howell. We get a 1-3-5. That's the unusual play result. First time today for that. Red 1 and a black 3 means we go to memorable plays in the field. So we'll roll 2 dice plus the decider and see if we get anything memorable. And we get a 1-4. 1-4 says second baseman gold. Sachs, I don't believe is gold. No, he's not. He's actually semi-iron. So if he was gold, he would make a leaping grab of a hot liner, robbing batter of a base hit. Otherwise, it's a single. So it's a base hit by Andres Thomas since Sachs was not gold. Brings up Bruce Benedict. And now we have to scroll back to the main chart. So Bruce Benedict's at first base with 1 out. It's a 1-3-4. 1-3-4 gold catcher. No, Scioscia's neutral. Is batter champion? No, he's not. We got outfield drama again. So we're right back to outfield drama where everybody's neutral. It's a 1-2. Right fielder iron. No, he's not iron, so it's going to be a routine fly out as Mike Marshall makes the play. So 2 down as Benedict is out. And now we go back to Glenn Hubbard with 2 outs and a runner at first. Hubbard, 1-2-3, both flash and fresh. Howell does have the flash quality. He is fresh because it's his first inning of work, so it is a strikeout. And that's going to end the 8th inning for the Braves. So we go to the bottom of the 8th, and it's still a 4-3 Braves lead. And big chunk of the Dodger order coming up, Pedro Guerrero, followed by Marshall and Stubbs. So this is where the Dodgers can make their hay right here. And Acker is now semi-fresh. 1-6-6. Is he a workman? No, he's not. Is the batter a whiffer? No, he's not. So he's going to ground out to third. So Guerrero grounds to Ramirez for 1 away. That result was in the red, so we do go to the experience chart. For the next at bat, Marshall is a semi-icon, and Acker is neutral. And let's see, does Chuck Tanner want to do anything? They're going to... No, he's going to let it slide. So semi-icon against neutral. And let's see, it's an icon batter against a neutral pitcher. 2-6. Icon pitcher. No, he's not an icon pitcher. If he was, he would strike him out. Otherwise, ball drops over second base for a base hit. So Mike Marshall with a 1-out single. And now that brings up Franklin Stubbs. Franklin Stubbs. 4-6-6 for Stubbs. Is the pitcher wild? No. Is he a home run king or a slugger? Franklin Stubbs is a semi-home run king. Desire Die says he's a home run king, so therefore he will strike out. So Franklin Stubbs swinging for the fences cost him. That's out number 2. Oops, sorry about that. And now it's Sosha. It's up to Sosha to keep it going this inning. Sosha, 366. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a pinch hitter? No. So he will fly to center, and the inning is over. So we completed 8 here at Dodger Stadium, and the Braves clinging to an ever so slight 4-3 lead as we go to the top of the 9th. So top of the 9th, Ken Howell back out. He's semi-fresh. And he's going to face a pinch hitter because Acker is scheduled to lead off. So we will get a pinch hitter, and it will be Greg Nettles. So Greg Nettles will pinch hit for Acker to lead off the top of the 9th. Try to get something going to give him some insurance. It is a 156. 156. Is he a whiffer? No, he's not. So it's going to be outfield drama. So again, we're back into the outfield drama for the Dodgers, and everybody's neutral. 1-6. 1-6. Right fielder stoic. Marshall is stoic. Actually, Mike Marshall is a stoic fielder or stoic runner. Let's look at his card. Got it on the score sheet, but let's look at his card. Mike Marshall, the right fielder, is stoic. So this says on 1-6, right fielder stoic, can't get the sinking liner. So it's a double. So Greg Nettles with a pinch hit double thanks to Mike Marshall being stoic. Slow of foot, couldn't make the play. Leadoff batter is at second base. And that brings up the top of the order and Deion James. That's a 2-5-6. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, not yet. Is he champion or patient? Deion James' only quality is that he is a semi-champion. But the decider die says no. So we got infield drama. So we went from outfield drama to infield drama. And the only player with the quality is Steve Sachs, who's semi-iron. So everybody's neutral. 2-6. Second baseman Gold. No, he's not Gold. If he was, it'd be a line out of an incredible diving grab. Otherwise, solid single into center field. So it's a base hit to center. And on a lead die of 2, let's check the base running. Active runner, let's see here. Runner advances 1 bases on singles. Active runner scores from second on any hit. Nettles does not resemble that remark. He is not active, so he will stop at third. So runners are at the corners and nobody out. And Tommy Lasorda may be going to his bullpen again. And he's going to go get Alejandro Pena. So Alejandro Pena is coming on to try to quell this rally right where it is. He'll be facing Rafael Ramirez. And he will be an ace this first at bat. It's 2-2-3. 2-2-3. Is he wild? No, he's not wild. Is the batter slugger or utility? Rafael Ramirez is neither one. So he's going to single to left field. He's not active, so he won't steal, but it is a single to left. And that will score Nettles with an insurance run, and the Braves now lead it 5-3. James stops at second, but there's still nobody out. As the Braves trying to put this one away here in the 9th. Here's Griffey, who's been hot today. 2 doubles in a row. 4-4-6. 4-4-6. Is he a star? Alejandro Pena is a semi-star. Decider says he's a star. So it's a ground out to second. And on a lead die of 4, that's a fielder's choice. So Ramirez is out at... He is out at second base 4-6. 1 away. James goes to third, and Griffey is safe at first. Runners at the corners, 1 out for Dale Murphy. Still a chance to break this open. 1-3-3. 1-3-3. Blank for the pitcher. Is he a slugger? No, Dale Murphy is a home run king, but not a slugger. So therefore, he's going to fly out to left. Now with the runner at third, runner holds on flyouts, lead die of 1, so James cannot score. Simple shallow fly to left. Runner's still at the corners with 2 outs for Ted Simmons as Pena tries to keep it from getting any worse. 2-4-6. 2-4-6. Does he have control? Pena does not have control. Is the batter eager or sad sack? No, he's not. He's going to draw a walk. So Ted Simmons will walk, and that will load the bases. with 2 outs for Andres Thomas. In a 4-2 game, this is the difference between keeping it close or having it blown wide open. Andres Thomas, 2-for-4. Is he an ace? No, he's not. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not. So it's a ground out to short. Unless he's a whiffer, he's a semi-whiffer. Decider die says no, so therefore the ground out to short will stand. And the inning's over, but the Braves pick up an insurance run in the 9th. And they will go into the bottom of the 9th trying to protect a 4-2 lead. And they'll need a new pitcher because they pinch hit for Acker. So the Braves will be looking to get a new pitcher in the ball game. Someone to close it out. They've already used Dedman. They have not used Garber. So Gene Garber. Well, I had him in the wrong spot. Gene Garber. I've had the batters in the wrong spot too. Surprised somebody didn't tell me on that or catch me on that. Gene Garber, the visiting pitcher. He will be in. And it's going to be Hatcher and a pinch hitter for the pitcher coming up for the Dodgers. So Garber's in to try to save it for the Braves. He will be an ace this first at bat, facing Mickey Hatcher. And then the pinch hitter for the Dodgers, they will have to turn to a pinch hitter, and they're going to go to Danny Heap. So Danny Heap will be the pinch hitter right after Mickey Hatcher's at bat. But first it's Mickey Hatcher. And we get a 1-2-3. That's both flash and fresh. He's semi-flash. Decider die says yes. We already know he's fresh because it's his first batter. So Garber rings up a strikeout. And now Danny Heap coming in to pinch hit. Danny Heap will pinch hit for Pena. So Danny Heap steps to the plate trying to get on base. We've got to roll all 3 dice. That would help, wouldn't it? Danny Heap, 1-1-5. 1-1-5. Is he fresh? Yes, he is. It's only his second batter, so it's a pop out to the. We'll say he pops out to third base. 2 down. And now it's up to Dave Anderson. Last chance for the Dodgers. They trail by 2. It is a 1-1-5. That again is a fresh check. It's a pop up. This time we'll say he pops to short. And the ball game is over. The Braves hang on for a 5-3 victory over the Dodgers. Winning pitcher is going to be Jeff Dedman, and the loser is going to be, unfortunately for him, Fernando Valenzuela. He gave up those 2 unearned or 2 inherited runners in the top of the 7th, and that cost him the decision. So that's History Maker Baseball, game number 68 in the Braves season. They have now won 2 in a row to make them 31-37 on the season. And they will be going, that's the first game of the West Coast road trip. They've got games in Los Angeles, San Diego, and San Francisco all to go. So it's a long West Coast road trip. This was game 1 of that road trip. And the bullpen actually, which is usually their nemesis, did very well for them. Both Dedman, Acker, and finally Garber to get the save. So that's going to do it from here, unless anybody has any questions or comments that they would like to talk about or ask about. I do appreciate Steve Tower dropping in with his knowledge and experience in the game. He's the one who actually got me into this game. He's the one that actually got me into doing videos, period. He's one of the first channels I've ever seen or ever saw on YouTube, and just kind of went from there. So if anybody wants to chat about anything, we're up to a little over an hour now, so maybe that's long enough for everybody to hear me. I don't know. Maybe you're tired of hearing me and rambling on about this game. But I tried to use some manager cards in there so that you could see the usage on that, and a couple of times they came right into play, making a neutral player hot just in time to get a base hit. So, they can be used quite effectively. Sometimes you use them and they don't work. I mean, the results lead you somewhere else. So that's going to do it from here. I'm not sure if I'm sure one of the Earls has a game lined up to play somewhere, either tabletop or Tenacious. So I'll go ahead and clear the airways for them. Plus, it's a Saturday morning, 11:30. So I've got some grass to cut before it gets too hot out there. And but I did enjoy this break from the chores on Saturday to get this game in. I do enjoy History Maker Baseball quite a lot. So from Dodger Stadium, final score again, Braves 5, Dodgers 3. 2-game winning streak for the Braves, and they'll be going to game 69 tomorrow against the Dodgers. So have a great weekend, everybody, and until next time, we will see you down the road.